Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about one of the hardest challenges in business, and it's one that I feel like isn't talked about enough, or maybe it's just secretly hidden on purpose because a lot of people, a lot of content creators, they want to don't want to look egotistical and they don't want to put themselves in a position to talk about it. But today I'm going to, and I feel like it's one of the hardest ones out there, and that is just dealing with people. Now, you'll hear the saying all the time that like business is 90% people, and I believe that that's absolutely true. But a lot of times when you search up, or if you're having problems in your business, it's mostly like a customer acquisition problems, or maybe you're not like running an ad a certain way, or it's a tax code problem. Business has problems till the end of time. We all know that. But what I've noticed to be the real struggle is just dealing with other human beings, which I know sounds super egotistical, but give me a chance to explain. Now, if you see yourself as somebody who's kind of a go-getter, maybe you're a little bit disciplined in your life, or you like to stay in shape, or you like to show up early and get things done, if you're trying to just get into the nitty-gritty and get your work done and go home, you're gonna have a super, super hard time dealing with a lot of your customer base, a lot of your initial employees, and it's just gonna be a super heartache, and it's gonna be very, very painful. Now, there's a couple of things that I've done kind of as one of those go-getter people to kind of just adjust to this climate of just dealing with other people coming into your business that maybe aren't on the same speed as you. And I've really boiled this down to three major things. So the first one is pure, non-negotiable empathy. And what I mean by that is you don't want people to just walk over you. There's gonna be a lot of times in business where they try to, and they'll try to take money out of your pocket saying, hey, you damaged this or you did that. You can't fall for everything. But what you can do is kind of step out of the situation, and you can look at the situation from like a third person perspective to where, you're on the boat in the waking sea, but you're kind of above watching the whole thing. So it's not actually you down there having that problem. And what I've noticed is when I do that, a lot of the issues that the customers bring up or maybe the employees bring up are really just solved with pure empathy. Just forgive them. Let them have that win. Now, this is a biblical teaching. Obviously, this is taken from the Bible. It's mentioned a ton of times to love thy neighbor, love thy enemies as well. It's a very key trait there in Christianity, which I try to follow. And I've found it to just be pure true. There's really no going around it, where 9 times out of 10, I can still sleep at night knowing that I let that person have that mini win. Now, also with this, a lot of the times, they don't even know that they're doing anything wrong. So the common example that I see all the time is, here I am, I'm working 7 days a week. I'm working, 23 hours a day, basically, it seems like. And then all I'm asking is for these customers to just show up at 8 a.m., right? And then what do? They don't. They show up at 8:40 or 8:25, and then they ask for the shuttle service, and it just gets crazy, right? But what I've noticed is that when they come in the door, I'm not mad at them. I'm not trying to find out what happened or what made it different. They usually just tell me straight off the bat. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I got stuck in traffic. And then that's usually just the end of it, right? What you got to do to not let that boil you over, because if you're like me, that just enrages you when people just can't even do the smallest little things right. To get it to where you can still just not completely just melt in on yourself is to practice that empathy. And some of the ways that I've been able to do this is to literally just take a breath, swallow my pride, and just let it be. And look at your next move on the chessboard, right? If a customer shows up at 8:40, the best possible move on the board is to go out there, get the keys, and get it in the back, right? That's all that matters. And you'll notice that within like 30 minutes, it's not even gonna be that much of a problem anyways. Everybody's gonna go home. They're gonna do it again too, so you can't fix them. You can't fix people. But the bar has just been lower than ever in terms of just people performing, so that's just something that you're just gonna have to get used to. And one of the ways I've been doing that is just take a breath, swallow it, and look at the next logical move on the board. Which actually leads me to number 2, which is to make situations more than right. So let's say you do actually make a fib on a car, or you make a mistake in your business or your job. What I've noticed is if this is where everything happens at once, and then you make a mistake and it brings the situation to a negative, it's not enough just to refund them their money or to fix the issue at hand, because that'll only get you back to the middle. Right? What we like to do, and what I've tried to practice, is to get the situation back to a positive, okay? So if you mess something up on a car, or let's say you couldn't get a stain out, what we've naturally tried to do is, one, make sure that that doesn't happen. So if we mess something up, we fix it But then we also throw in the engine bay for them, or we'll throw in an add-on service, or maybe an Amazon gift card. If you look at my Amazon right now, I've probably purchased like 17 gift cards for people just to make it to where they leave the shop having a good experience. And that's something that I've learned over time to work extremely well. So if you constantly find yourself in a scenario where a customer's just giving you negativity, maybe you didn't even do anything to cause it to go negative, but it's still your responsibility as the business owner, this is what I've kind of gone by, to at least get it back to here. And then all it takes to be an exceptional business owner to get past that is to just make it more positive on the back end. So doing more than what is just fixing it, make it actually additionally better. And that's what we've seen some of the angriest, most I'd say selfish customers we've ever had. That's how we've been able to turn them from like 1-star Google review complainers to reoccurring revenue, will ride or die with you till the end of time. They're not even thinking about canceling their membership type of customer. And it can literally be an opportunity for you as the business owner to kind of flip that on its head by using that exact tip. So try to find ways. That's what's been super helpful for me. Okay, and then number 3, when it comes to dealing with people, you have to be super cautious of what your team says to your ears. Oftentimes, if a customer does you wrong or if they make a mistake, then you might have team members or you might have spouses or friends or receptionists or anything like that that may be telling you, hey, fight that. Like, to heck with them. We don't need that negativity. Like, cancel their thing, do this, do that. Sometimes people aren't emotionally strong enough to kind of take that step back that I was talking about earlier. And what you have to be careful of is if your team isn't necessarily on that same level on the same page as you are in terms of being empathetic towards people, it can really kind of collapse in on yourself. And you begin to think that you're the one that's wrong, when in reality, you're the only person in the room that was right. So sometimes, even if it's your closest friend, or maybe it's even your spouse, if they're telling you, hey, like, fight this situation, push back, be mean, don't stand for that, don't get bullied. You'll hear that all the time, where like, oh, don't let them walk over you. But is it letting them walk over you when you're being the more intelligent, the higher human being, to take a step back to recognize that that person isn't quite all there, and they honestly probably didn't even mean ill will towards you? Is it getting walked over if you take the high ground on that one? If you be the respectable business owner or the respectable human being in the room? I don't know. And I guess we'll never know, but in my experience, I've noticed that taking that high ground has never really failed me ever. It's impossible for somebody who's screaming at you and getting in your face, or I've had people holding up, cameras to me before being like, you messed up my car, I'm so mad. There can only ever be like one person in that angry boat, right? If you have 2 people that are back to back with it, one of them has to leave. I choose to just be the one that just doesn't get in that boat. Just take the high ground on the situation. You'll find yourself having a lot smoother of a time. So when it comes to dealing with difficult human beings, those are the 3 steps that I take. 1, being purely empathetic towards that person. Number 2, not just making a situation fixed, but making it more than right. And then number 3, just being cautious of what your team is saying into your ears and making sure that you don't collapse on your true morals that are inside. So that's what I've learned to be successful. Hopefully that kind of helps you guys when it comes to dealing with people, because let me tell you, the bar is now lower than ever in terms of people showing up on time, being decent human beings, simple stuff as just being cleanliness. Like if you're getting a car detail, the general practice is to like take your personal items out of the car. Not all of them. Like I'm not expecting the glove box to be empty, but like, the customers I'm talking about. The customers where you walk in there, there's 4 car seats, there's 2 strollers, there's 4 bags of everything, and you have to remove all that. And then they still want you to like clean that stuff too, which is like, we're there to clean the car, not the accessories. But again, going back to number 2, 9 times out of 10, what we'll do, we'll clean all those car seats and we'll clean that wagon or whatever they have in there, just to make the situation that much more. You try to meet negatives with a double positive, and that's what we've done at the Detail Donkey to be successful. And I just wanted to hop on today, hopefully share some of that, just get it off my chest, honestly, because we've been dealing with a lot of that lately. So hopefully it just kind of helps anybody on YouTube who may have that exact struggle. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, everybody.